Hey y'all. All right, and we are back for part 3 of this 3-part episode of Being Black, Happy, and Married. Hopefully by now you've listened to part 1 and part 2. If you haven't, go back. It's episode 23, 24. Listen to those so you are caught up and you know what's going on in this part 3. It really is such an amazing episode. In last week's episode, the Duncans get into a little argument. And we were here for it, okay? Insecurities almost got into the way of the interview. Let us know who you think won. We know who won. Black men don't cheat. We know that's a goddamn lie. But thanks to Black, he explains to us and schools us on the whole double meaning. And also we talk about monogamy. Yeah, is that really still a thing? I mean, maybe. I don't think so, but for some of y'all, it is. Anyway, make sure you tune in. Make sure you listen all the way through so you can get a glimpse of something really major and really big that happens through this episode. During the episode, how people are meant to be in your life for a reason. It's weird. It's weird. You have to listen to the end. And it brings everything all full circle. Dates, times, how God works in mysterious ways. And I don't know exactly what he's doing. Oh, this is V, by the way. Your amazing host.
Cut the shit.
I
was trying to stay quiet, but I couldn't. Okay?
Anyway, just make sure you listen all the way to the end. But seriously, God doesn't make any mistakes. I don't know what he's doing in our lives, but he definitely is doing something. This nigga AD. Anyway, just make sure y'all listen. All right. Enjoy the episode.
What I'll say is one of the things that Black and I do is we definitely, and I think in the Black community, it's very hard to talk to your partner about what you like sexually, because it's like you don't really talk about it, you just do it type situation. But we talk about it. It was something that Black used to do when we would have sex, and I hated it. And I told him, I'm like, I don't know what type of bitches like this wild shit. I like wild shit, but I don't like this wild shit that you're doing. Like, this shit is blowing me.
What is this?
And it took him a while to not do it. But I'm like, dog, we're never going to have sex again if you do this wild ass annoying shit again. I don't like this. And he stopped doing it. I don't know, but truth be told, he never said that he liked doing it. So I hope that he don't like doing it.
But you said
I hated it.
Yeah. If I say it out loud, majority of the women would like it. It's just that you don't like it.
But wait, hold on. But when you first started, you said you wanted a dark-skinned man that was gonna blow your mind sexually and do some wild shit.
Let him say the shit that he was about to say.
Trust me. Watch this.
All right, tell us.
It's the ear.
What ear?
Anything. Like if I lick on the ear.
No,
hold up, let me finish. Let me finish.
Cool.
If I lick on the ear, inside the ear or whatever, or when I'm in the ear, I'll like suck. Like
that was the wildest, weirdest shit.
That's the wild.
Yeah. That's see what I'm saying?
And I do. It's been. Look.
I mean, I feel you, but I mean, people don't like what they don't like. But I wouldn't say that's wild, though, bro.
See what I'm saying?
Wild.
I thought you was gonna say something else.
It worked for me before. It worked. It worked for me before. I was like, okay, let me pull out the repertoire.
That shit was wild as fuck.
I understand not liking it, but that's not wild.
It worked for me before.
Why would you suck out of my ear? That's some wild ass, weird ass sensation shit.
We can't put wild with that.
What do you get from that? When somebody suck out your fucking ear. Nobody wants that wild ass shit.
That's not true.
Everybody doesn't like what everybody else likes, but that's not true.
Nobody tell me that that's some wild ass shit.
Nobody's gonna tell you that.
Lunching.
Nobody's gonna tell you that.
Who is on some wild?
Dog, y'all lunching.
Funny, okay.
That's wild as fuck.
Knew something else was coming.
See?
There was no shock on anyone's face.
I can't lie. I thought it was like diddle butt.
I thought it was something.
He can do anything with my butt, but I don't want that sucking out
I
my
wasn't
damn
talking
ear.
about yours.
I don't want no
sucking
out my ear.
She said no ear. I've heard of no butt. Like, she's not lying. I've never heard of nothing.
Ain't this wild as shit?
Just don't do that wild ass shit no more, cuz.
I haven't done it. And I told him, I said, if you do that shit again, I'm like, dog, I don't like this wild ass shit.
I almost did it just now to Adrian just to mess with her, but I'm like, that's not
like, I love you and I'm all for black love, but I ain't with this shit. I don't know what type of bitches like this wild shit. I don't want you doing this shit to my ear.
She is funny, okay?
Yeah, we gotta move on.
Any advice you would give to people engaged, black love, people just getting married, what would you give them?
I would say talk to them about their past, what they've done, what they've been through in their past. I think that that's very important because as adults and as black people, we run from our past so much.
That's true.
It shows up in different areas of our lives. It shows up in our parenting. It shows up in relationships with men or women. It shows up in business. It shows up in friendships. And if you know what someone has been through, you can offer resources, or you can just offer an ear with understanding and empathy. Not to get sucked out of, though. Don't suck out my damn ear. No, you could just offer, you'll have a level of understanding as to why this person is triggered by something, because they were sexually abused, or their parents weren't emotionally available for them, or they didn't have a man in the home, or their mom wasn't there. You know what I mean? They were an only child. They didn't have friends. They were bullied in school. Like their mom sold them to have sex. Like you realize what the people go through just by learning their past. So I would say get to know them and talk about their past as opposed to what they're doing just right now. Because that's just where they are right now.
And what they trying to disguise.
Yeah, but have they gotten help?
Real.
Have they talked to somebody? Are they still dealing
I like the
with
answer.
it? Yeah, that's what I would say.
I would say you have to just be brutally honest with yourself, with the person that you're with, regardless of if that means y'all won't get married. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, like, you just got to be the authentic version of you and say exactly what it is you want. Don't be like disrespectful or nothing like that, but say what it is you want. Say the things that you don't like, the things that you do like. Like, you got to have those hard conversations. And that's one thing that we do when we in dating mode. We always try to, mask ourselves and present the best version, or what we think the best version is of ourselves. But the best version of you is the real, authentic you. Yeah. And then you'll find that person that loves the real, authentic you. And it ain't nothing in this world like knowing that somebody love you and they know all your flaws.
Not your mom.
And they have smelled your ass.
Yes.
Literally.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Be open to, because again, you're becoming a unit. So it is no longer me. It's not, it's my way. It has to be a level of compromise. I'm not saying let your partner walk over you. That's not what I am saying. But you have to bend at some point. Like, this is the way I've lived my life for 12 years. Okay, but you're with someone else. You're supposed to be one. So you have to, like, all right, he don't like the way I decorated this house. Okay, it's our house now. He has to say so. Or he doesn't like that I do whatever. Like, you have to be open to talk about compromise. Like, you can't just, like, this is how I've been doing it. I'm just going to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're not ready, if you're not willing to do some things for your partner, you're not ready. Mm-hmm. So be open. Yeah, compromise is huge.
Yeah, that's good.
I'd say just do what works best for y'all. And don't worry about what society says you're supposed to do. Mm-hmm. So let's say you're not at the marriage stage yet. You're at the engaged stage. Oh, but y'all not supposed to live together until you're married. I think sometimes, like, that's how you find out what their habits really are like. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how well they clean, or you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to see these little habits. Or even if you're not staying over, you know what I'm saying? Like, you stay real late. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But really, really get to know each other. Because if you're at that engagement stage, like, you should know who it is or what it is you're about to get into. Yeah. And then at the early stages of marriage, like she said, there's compromise. And then, like I said, with us, because we don't argue, you have to realize that everything just isn't worth arguing about. Because when people argue, you're not listening to the other person. That's true. You're just stressing yourself out for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you have to realize it's still compromise at the end of the day. So it's like, is this worth it? Like, okay, I'm going to go do this. She don't want me to do it, but I'm going to go do it anyway. But once I get back, I'm coming back to her attitude. So was it really worth it? And the whole time you were at the event, you know she mad. Y'all still arguing via the text, and you ain't enjoy it no ways. You see what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't worth it to begin with. So I'd say just think through certain situations, and you'll realize it's really not worth it.
I like that. My last question really for you guys is for, like, how important do you feel like it is to keep people like you around, like married black couples, if they have to be black, or married couples in general? Because I'm in a relationship, but I'm not married. But I also don't know. We've had discussions and differences on having single friends, or their expectations for me and me dealing with somebody versus having single friends and stuff like that. So what would you guys say to that?
Well, my closest friends are single. One of them is due to be married this year, and the other one is just single. They give me really great advice. Really great advice. Better advice than my married people that I know. But also, these are the women that I talk to every day. Yeah. But as far as my husband and I collectively, we do surround ourselves with married couples that are not just posting about being married and happily married. We surround ourselves with couples that when we go over their houses, like, we literally stay till like 4:00 in the morning talking about marriage and talking about the things that we deal with and being vulnerable and being transparent. We talk about our highs, our lows. So it helps us, and it helps them. It helps us. So I think for us, we love to hang around married couples that are just open to talking about the things that people are afraid to talk about in society because they'll be judged.
One of the greatest advice that I ever received was the day of my wedding. My best man, brother Victorious. I asked him, I was like, you got some advice before I do this? He was like, listen, the only advice I'm going to give you is this. People tell you all the time to keep people out of your marriage. He said no. What you should do is keep people in your marriage that want you to succeed.
I like that.
Yeah.
And they will help you. So if I'm calling somebody, they're not just on my side when I give
they're
the whole
on our side.
I hate calling both Vic. Of us. When I tell you, I hate calling Vic because every time I call Vic, he tells me that I have to apologize. And I'm like, I ain't do shit. Like, it ain't my fault. You know, he was like, you still got it, you know. So, I mean, I think it's just important that you surround yourself around people who want to see it succeed. Yeah. And all of that comes on picking the right person, too, because you don't want to be the wrong person, and then you got somebody trying to get you to stay with the wrong person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's good. We have single friends, married friends, people that are, it's like you said, it's important that people that are invested in your marriage, they want you guys happy. So they're going to tell you some stuff you don't like, and that's fine. You don't want people around, you shouldn't have them around before you get married anyway, that don't want to see you happy, do well. So it's good to have perspective from both sides. And granted, a single person can't tell you, hey, this is what you should do in a marriage, but they still have a lens to look through that a married couple may not have. But we definitely surround ourselves, us in particular, with people that are rooting for us constantly. Like, that's important. Like, if you're not here for us, you can go the hell over there. Yeah. He's probably looking, he's not. He probably is nicer. He'd be like, we still ain't. Yeah. I'm not. But that's important. I think it is.
I ain't got no damn friends. Nah. But I don't talk to anybody about her though. Never have actually.
Like most men don't.
But I mean, there's nothing to talk. Like I said, like I don't have where if there's no argument, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing to talk about. I ain't about to call my man and tell him all the good stuff that's going on with her. Like, I'm not trying to interest you in her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't discuss her with anybody. That's what she for, in my opinion.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
that's how I feel.
But as far as like who we surround, yeah, we got married friends, single friends, but we're not around anybody that often either. Like, we don't.
You have to deal with your stuff on your own.
Yeah, we don't have much company. We don't go frequently to anyone's houses either. You know what I'm saying? So like when we see people, we're usually out at community events. So like the event is happening, so there's not really much discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Or interaction with people to know, be aware of what's going on with y'all situation. That's
right.
true. Yeah. I like that. Well, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Are there any questions you have for us? I know V has stepped away for a second. I am single. There's not too much you can ask me. Single in the sense I'm not married.
Do you want to be married?
I was about to say, you definitely
yes, I don't. My parents weren't. They were married before they had children, so it's weird. But I do want to experience it. Because I do understand.
Yeah, because you sound like it's a roller coaster ride. Like
no,
you on it and then you leave the park.
It's not something. Let me say this: it's not something that I've had in my mind that I'm like, I need this to happen for me. I need this to be what it is. But I appreciate monogamy. I would want that for myself and for whoever I'm with. And the understanding stuff, I've never had the full understanding of each other and the individual before we become a partnership and stuff like that. But I would want to experience it. And I say experience because I don't want to put too much hope on like this is forever, but I do.
That just made me think of a point. She was like, before you come on, you really have to know who you are before you get married. Like, you have to be so sure of who you are and make sure you don't lose that person in becoming one. Like, that's just as important as for
and that's another
like
journey. That's another journey.
But you just said something that's interesting though. You said you don't want to put the pressure on yourself like this is forever.
Yeah, that scares me. That scares the shit out of me. Okay.
So, okay.
Okay, that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah,
but see, saying forever, it's like
But the crazy thing is, if you never adopt the idea of it being forever, then you won't do your due diligence to find the person that's supposed to be forever.
Or when you get into it, you won't do the due diligence to make it work.
Yeah.
So what makes y'all feel like forever is a thing? Because even with you, like you said, you didn't see monogamy for yourself. You had marriage so much around you. You didn't really think about that for yourself. So how did you change your mind?
So even up until like maybe a year ago, when my husband and I, we were like Mo and Adrian now. We did not argue before we got married. We have had like small, minor disagreements, but we never had like a full blown argument because we would just talk, right? But when we got married, like all of our stuff started really coming out. Most of our stuff started coming out. And it's just, we just have one thing that we have an issue with, and we're getting better at that. We don't argue about finances, no infidelity, none of that other stuff. We have one thing, and that thing has pushed us. It has stretched us like to no end, and we're working on it. But even in those moments when we would have we had our first argument, I'll never forget. I bumped him. I wanted to fight him. I bumped him so hard, like, what's up? Like, I fight niggas. I don't give, I was so mad. And he just left out the house. He just left out of the house. He just left out of the house and he walked up the street. And I was like, I still want to fight you.
I wasn't used to nobody just bumping me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just chilling.
Like, you gonna fight me today? Like, it was one of them bumps. Like, not just like a man. Like, it was like, come on, girl. Like, that's
you tried it.
Yeah, and so with that, I would just be like, this wedding is over. I mean, this marriage is over. Because I was so used to running and leaving relationships and then them calling me to come back, all of that. And so I had to realize that, so it was in steps. Like, I had to stop running physically first because I would run, right? And then I had to grab a hold of my mind because I would stop running physically, but mentally I would still run. and my thoughts will run rampant. Like, I'm just gonna go ahead. We probably just don't need to be together. I don't know if this marriage is gonna work. We can't come to an agreement. We get like because it was, our arguments were so new to me. I felt like we're not gonna make it. Because when we weren't married, we were good. We can get through it and we'll be good. But now that we're married, we have this huge obligation, right? But I think it's more so of God just showing us like you gonna have valleys, right? And the enemy don't like that y'all are married, because not only are y'all married, but y'all young, y'all black, and y'all showing y'all community that y'all can do it, right? Because the wedding went viral. So y'all have a bigger responsibility on your hands. So y'all arguments are going to seem 1,000 times worse than what they really are to someone else. If we told you about the argument, you'd be like, that's dumb. You know what I'm saying? So in all actuality, it's all about just the work. Just making it work. And so what I had to do was I trained myself. I love him so much, right? I know he's here for me. I know his intentions, his motives are for me. So why am I running? He ain't cheating on me. He not messing me over. He not treating. He don't curse at me. He don't call me bitches unless I ask him to. You know what I'm saying? So he's a great guy. He loves my daughter. You know what I'm saying? My mother and father love him. This is the first for that. What is the problem? You know what I mean? Like, so I just had to train myself, and just not even train myself, but just come into the realization of who he is. Like, really knowing who he is, and that helped me to know that he here for you. This your nigga. You know what I'm saying? So,
see, even then, she still had to get married to feel that.
Yeah,
feeling.
And for me, it's different. Like, you know, I wouldn't have married her if I didn't think it was forever. It just wouldn't have happened, because, I mean, we go through what we go through, and if I didn't have that mindset, then I would have been out. Like, I would have been out already.
But I do also think, I wouldn't say because it's up to a man, but that's usually who's in the leadership position to ask and to carry through with the situation, that it's not up to a woman all the time.
It's not up to a woman or what?
To get married.
To get married. It's usually up to the man. The man who chooses the wife. You know, it's not up to me to believe forever until I meet the person. That's how I think.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So
that was my point.
And
that was my point.
That may be where I'm standing right now.
Yeah,
but as far as if I don't feel forever, now I don't think about forever when I'm first thinking about marriage.
Yeah.
Or when I think about somebody. Because I think most girls in general, when they talk to a dude, it's usually, can I see myself talking to him? Can I be with him for a long period of time? I don't care what type of relationship y'all have. That's how you think about the dude that you talking to, whether y'all just having sex, whether y'all just talking, whether y'all dating, whatever. We think about what we can do with the person in general. And I feel like that's probably where I am as far as it being forever. Without it being forever. Because most girls, even from me being a young girl, I think, you think when you're young, I can talk to him, our baby's gonna be cute,
that's
stuff like that. But you don't think forever with every situation. I feel like now that I'm getting older, I'm realizing, okay, marriage really is a possibility for me. That forever is up to the man.
I must be different then, because I don't think I've ever entered into a relationship thinking that it wasn't going to last. Like, that was the intent.
But that's most men, though. For women, I feel like anybody who approaches us, whoever we accept and whoever we exchange information with and continue a conversation with, we think further than what it is at the moment. We don't necessarily think about the person at the stage that they are. We think potential. We think further. We think farther than what it is. So it's not up to the women all the time to know that this is going to go further than what it is.
I don't know. I'm just sitting there looking like, why attempt to do anything to not go through with it?
Yeah, because I think the responsibility is on
the
man.
Ask the dudes. That ain't up for me.
Nah, I don't think that's. I don't agree in the sense that it's up to a man. It's up to a man to in
a woman has to accept, but
I'm
he
talking
has
about
to choose.
Yeah, I agree. But the mindset of both should be forever if he asks her and if she says yes.
Yeah.
Like me asking you, I better know in my mind that I think that this is going to be forever.
On the same
like
page,
those are my intentions. And if you say yes, then in your mind, you better have the intentions of forever. If not, then don't say yes. And if not, then I shouldn't ask you.
Yeah.
And I already feel that you have that intent. I wouldn't have asked otherwise.
Yeah.
I'm not taking that gamble. Like, I couldn't imagine asking someone to marry me.
And be like, oh, maybe a little bit.
I was 1,000% sure when I asked. Like,
Yeah, you were.
1,000. I mean, see, mine was a little different. I proposed in the middle of a rap battle. So,
Went horribly. I'd have messed up the rest of your.
oh yeah, I would have lost the battle messing with her.
You would have lost the battle, Mo. If she would have said no, it would have been over.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
we never
I'd have been done.
understand that. Like, you know, for the surprise wedding, everybody asks, well, how did he know he was gonna say yeah?
They would ask me, how did you know? How did they would ask
You
me.
had to know
And
from
I'm like,
that.
what type of relationships do y'all know? Have y'all talked to
Why y'all
people in
don't know?
Yeah,
relationships?
why you don't know she gonna say yeah if
Why
you
don't you
propose?
know?
You'll be
I
surprised.
was
That's because they don't
Blackjack.
watch TV shows. They seen
Yeah.
Joe Budden get on his knee and get a
Yeah.
no. That's what it was.
And what they were together for what, 10 years, almost something like that. Mm-mm.
Yeah, it's I don't understand that, and I would tell people in interviews, and this was on live TV. They would say, what would you have done if she would have said no? And I interrupt like,
Why would I have said
what
no?
type of relationship people are y'all interviewing on
Or what are
here?
y'all getting in relationships to do if y'all
What are
not
y'all
working on
talking
that?
about? Are y'all not
What's the
talking
end
about
goal?
marriage? Are y'all not talking about like being engaged? I don't get it. Like, are y'all just fucking y'all way
Yep.
through stuff? I mean, I understand, but then you're married and you don't know if the person's going to say yes. That doesn't make
No, the
sense to
thing
me.
that scares me is when people get engaged and don't end up getting married. I'm like, y'all wasn't sure for real then. Like,
They knew they
what-
shouldn't have done it.
Y'all both wanted it, but it's like you have a simple girlfriend boyfriend type argument that, you know, you separate for a day or two. But I'm like, that really made you call off a whole wedding?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, y'all just wasn't ready.
But sometimes that expedites the process, though.
Yeah,
Like
I
you-
wasn't supposed to be with him. That's
yeah,
good. Or I
like
wasn't
you never
supposed to
know
be
what
with
it
her.
is that
That's
can
good.
tip you over the edge. And you, somebody asks you to marry them. I know a lot of people who are like, if somebody asks me to marry them, I'm not waiting more than a year, like to do all of that stuff. And
I get all
Expectations,
that.
expectations.
Yeah.
People in their expectations of what, how long, and all that other stuff.
I'm
like,
learning to let those go because
Yeah.
But I think
Drop
that
your
I-
list.
works
You got a
for
list?
you.
That's what I want to know. Do you have a list of what you want your mate to look like and be like and have? And all that?
Unfortunately, mine are shaped by society a little bit, and a little bit of what I expect, a little bit of what my father has given me and shown me and stuff like that. But from what I accept and what I've wanted, they've been different. So I'm learning to like the give and take of what is really going on with the person that I want to be with and what's, you know, what I expect and what we can work on together.
I had that
So-
conversation with somebody when I was younger. The things that I wanted that was like mandatory, they was like, nah, you got like relax on your. Nah, no, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like if
Yeah.
it's things you just can't deal with, you just like. I don't smoke or drink. I was not gonna be with somebody that smoke or drink. Like it just couldn't happen. Like at
Yeah.
all. So I mean, like I get that there's some things, small, minor things that you might like. Okay, I could deal with this, but I'm like, if it's something that bothers you to that level, like you can't compromise on that at all.
And that's too much because
Yeah.
usually that habit comes on a daily.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it does. It comes on a
She
daily.
don't smoke or drink either, so they
So that's good, but that's
we
good
wouldn't have
though.
been together.
Yeah.
Period. Like I asked that early. I make sure of that like very early. Anybody I've ever talked to, like I had to know that right away because it wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
She was a casual drinker.
She'd have been casually drinking and dealing with whoever she was casually dealing with. Because nah,
So considering what you have now, this is just a question. I don't know if we got to wrap up or whatever.
No, you good. You good.
All right, considering, you know, this is what you have now, and this is the best thing that's ever happened to you, right? If you looked in hindsight and she was a casual drinker, you would be willing to let that go just because she has a drink every Friday or every, social gathering?
yeah.
Okay.
But I wouldn't have been able. I mean, I know you said the benefit of hindsight, but it would have never gotten that far. Like I would have known that at some point during the dating process.
And decided if you were able to deal with it or not.
I already knew I wasn't. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Like I don't have a person for waiting 3 years into a relationship to say,
So let me
hey,
ask
all of a
another
sudden
question.
I just
Alright.
picked up this habit.
Let me ask another question.
Let's get it.
What if she, just decides to pick up a drink,
What if this is a
Yeah.
habit that starts
What if
after
it
y'all
happens
married?
now?
That's true.
To me, that's not the for better or worse.
Oh, so you ain't got to deal with that.
That's not the vibe. Like, nah.
What you mean?
So that's a
Like,
deal
now,
breaker.
you know how they say for better or for worse?
Yeah.
I don't put drinking in the for worse part. Like,
you think that's for
it's
health
outside
and
of
stuff
it.
like
That's
that?
it's something else to me. It's just
Oh, it's outside of
So
work.
you think
Yeah.
for better or for worse, like for worse is usually not a choice. Like you choose to pick up a drink and stuff like that. For worse is something that's unpredicted.
I mean, I to me, like I guess I'm saying it's worse than worse. Like it's a no. Period. Like I actually had this situation happen with my ex-fiance. Like she went out, wanted to fit in with the crew. She came back, tried to kiss me, and I'm just like, Slim, nah. She went brushed her teeth and everything, and I'm like, that doesn't erase it. Nah, like it's just not. It's a hell no.
Wow.
That's
So
deep.
it's like done. It'll
Yeah.
be done.
So she came home with had a drink. This is okay. We going to get divorce papers.
I mean,
You
I
wouldn't
don't
do
got
that
it.
to
I don't got it
That's
for
what I'm
being
saying. I
drastic
feel
like
like
that, but
this
it's
is like-
over though. Yeah, I'm not dealing with that.
You said I don't have it being drastic like that.
No, I
but
mean
it's
like
over.
I'm not the next morning.
doesn't mean-
I'm just saying I'm not getting up.
Drastic.
Drastic
No,
is fine.
but I'm not saying the next morning I'm on the way to Upper Marlboro at 7:45. Is
May
what
I
I'm saying.
ask
You gotta go to work.
Is there something? Is there something
gonna
in
wait till-
particular about the drinking that you're not with, or is it just the act in general that you don't do alcohol?
I mean, I'm not about to not kick it with my homies because they drink, but I ain't in a relationship with them.
That just what
It's-
she asked you was, is it something
it's-
that
Is it something that has to
deeper?
do with the actual
I
alcohol
never
intake versus?
no, there's no story
the
to go.
actual-
No, there's no story to go with it.
You
I
just don't- that's just not what you do.
Don't drink or smoke. So
I feel
Nuh-uh.
that. I can't. Be
I mean,
mad at that.
I see how people are
I
with
drink
it,
and
but I
smoke.
mean that
It's
was
terrible.
never. It wasn't a deep
not
rooted
terrible.
thing. Like I ain't judging nobody, man.
Yeah. It's a preference. I can't be mad at nobody preferences. Okay,
Well,
Yeah, that's
we all
But
got
that's
them.
just
Yeah.
like I know people like with cigarette. Like you're not about to be with
I don't
with
do
the cigarette.
that.
You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
do the
So,
cigarette
Yeah.
thing.
but
so I
again, this
can
is
be
just
mad.
not a habit I see a person picking up, and me knowing her because I have the benefit of hindsight there too. It's not going, and that's not to say she never drank before we were together, but I see in her how much the desire is. Like we work, like we understand each other, and her desire to make me happy, and she already knows I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? So like if there was something like, let's say she didn't like people that shot guns, I'm not gonna be like, after our house gets broken into, I'm not gonna be like, you know what, I gotta get a gun. I know you don't like them, but this is just something I have to do. I'm gonna find another option.
What you gonna get?
Whether
We
it's the
going to the
alarm
range.
system, the damn pit bull, something else has to happen. She
True.
does not like guns.
Yeah.
So that's never an option at that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that's a respect thing after a while too.
What type of boundaries did you got?
I
Don't
mean,
start having no fights on my behalf.
you know, I mean, my worst is worse. You know, like the worst that's outside of like a category out of category of worse for me is like, you know, you cheat on me and get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like that is like, whoa, like.
That's
I'm not raising nobody, you know, like I gotta look at you through this pregnancy and all that. And that is like something that I would definitely have to, like, I don't know if we could survive something like that, you know. But I mean, there are things that people, it's been people that's been married that has a partner who lost a job and ended up, you know, being an alcoholic or ended up being on drugs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's worse. And so it's like I can't just bail on you like that, you know what I'm saying? Because this is what my vows are. And there's no any, you know, it's like
I don't feel the way. It's fine.
yeah. I'm just saying that, you know, that
I feel
you,
like
that's
deal
the-
breakers come in the moment, like what you
Yeah.
feel like you can deal with.
I
and
think
what
you can
can't
talk
deal
about it for hours and for days,
Yeah.
but once you get
But a
to
deal
the-
If
breaker
you
in a
initially can't
boyfriend
get over it.
a deal
That's-
breaker in a
that's- yeah, I agree
boyfriend
with y'all.
girlfriend
I
thing
agree
is
with y'all.
is very different though.
Yeah.
with. Say that again.
I said the deal breaker in a boyfriend girlfriend thing, or even in the dating process, is way different. And I understand what he's saying because like, you
Versus
took this vow
marriage
for
is what
the
you're saying.
better or worse. But I don't know, like
See, that's
to
what
me,
I'm
it's-
scared
it-
of. The
to me,
better or
it's-
worse
to
is
me,
still
it's the
having deal
respect
breakers
we
because I
have
feel
for
like
each
you
other.
can't have none.
Like I go to the casino, right, and sometimes I win big, and sometimes I lose. If she comes to me and is like, yeah, I can't live like this, where your income is fluctuating and you don't. If she be like, yeah, you keep going, it's like if I see that in her eyes, in her face, I'm not going no more. But that's just the respect I have for her. But there's been times where we didn't have anything, and I might have had $150, and I just want to turn that into $2,000. And now we're comfortable, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then there's been times where she's had some money and I lost mine, and all right, we had to deal with how we had to deal, you know what I'm saying? But like, if I seen that in her, I was like, hey, look, you gotta relax. Then, and that means me going once in a while to me not going at all, then that's just, it is what it is. Like, to me, is you're comparing that. Like, what's more worth it? Me being without her, and then continuing with the casino, right? So let's say that I go lose. Then I don't have her to balance out or help. So now I'm a whole downward spiral.
That's true.
Same thing really with the relationship, the monogamy thing. Like, you're sitting there like, all right, this other person's attractive. They said they would do this, and the third to me. Shorty don't got a car. She don't got the house. She don't cook. Like, for the one thing you checked off, there's like 5 of those pebbles going in the downside. Like, is it really worth? Like, you gotta rationalize and think about those things.
But there's a certain thing about temptation that's weird because of the fact that I feel like in order for you to notice temptation, you have to be open to it. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're at a point where you're noticing the temptation and you're really paying attention to it. You know, I've been in a relationship, I've been cheated on, so I can say, in a sense, if I wasn't paying attention to nobody, my eyes wasn't open to nobody for years. But as soon as that situation happened to me, my eyes opened to a couple people. And I was like, oh, well, what's going on over here at 2 o'clock in the morning?
Because it's like, I was this dedicated and you wasn't.
And not even thinking about that, but just you have to be open. Your mind has to be open to it. So I feel like it'll be in a sense to fix your mind before any of that comes. So when it comes to deal breakers and stuff like that, I feel like there's a reason why you're at your deal breaker before you get there. If that makes any sense,
that makes a lot
you're
of
not
sense.
You're not just popping up with a problem.
I was waiting for a hell of an argument to happen. So it just looked natural, you know what I'm saying? Instead of me just leaving,
you know what I'm saying?
Like you
don't just pop up at problems. Problems usually arrive before you get to the problem to argue about it.
I get it.
So, yeah.
That's
I'm happy you guys are married though. You guys inspire me, okay? V too, but V needs to hurry up and come back wherever she at. I know she hears me. But anyways, thank you guys so much for participating with us. You guys gave us a lot of conversation, so I know we're gonna get some great stuff from this.
Yes.
So we actually have one more question for you guys, but that's gonna be for 2 shots in the truth next.
Okay.
That's gonna be
what? For 2 shots in the truth, where we're gonna take 2 shots.
He's not drinking right now.
Two shots.
Heard what I said,
2
Joe.
shots is something.
You trying to end my whole relationship?
2 shots don't mean alcohol. It can be anything. We got ginger ale. We got water, lemonade. We can find something for y'all. Okay. Thank you guys so much, though.
Yes,
I do appreciate you. So if V is not here to tell you guys, I love you.
I love you.
All righty. Thank you guys so much. This is a podcast and about nothing. AD signing out.
Hey y'all, it's V
and AD.
Hope you enjoyed the episode. A few things happened in this episode. I went missing.
She did for a while, actually.
This is serious.
I've never carried an episode like that by myself.
You did a really good job. Clap it.
I was so drunk.
Yes, you were. When I listened back to the episode, I'm like, ask the question. Ask this question. Ask this question. It was so dope how everybody just asked questions. Like, you weren't alone.
Yeah, I love that when you were actually speaking to somebody and they give you the feedback or they give you the energy that you giving them. So
yeah,
that was dope. I appreciate y'all.
You had a conversation with your favorite cousins.
Yes, cousins.
All right, so just to kind of, we're gonna tell y'all a story.
Here's the story.
Nobody knows that song. What's the word? Anyway, so 3 years ago, what was it? October 1st, 2016. the Duncans, Sherelle and Black, or Alfred.
We were all at their wedding.
We were. The whole country was at their wedding.
I was there too.
You was there?
I was
was
there.
like, yeah.
Strolling straight up on Instagram. I was there.
Shouting with Sherelle. She was shouting like shit. Yo. But Yudu and I, Yudu's my husband, we were invited to that wedding. And we skipped that wedding. And at the time, we didn't know, we're like, dang, like, you only get married once. And my brother only turns 45 once. So my brother, Freddie, it was his birthday on that day, October 1st. He turned 45. And then I'll explain how it all comes full circle. Fast forward 3 years later.
Yeah.
2019, July 5th, while sitting there having a conversation with Sherelle and Black, I get a phone call from my brother's wife saying that he had been killed in a car accident. And if you haven't put two and two together, my brother's birthday is on their anniversary. The day he died, I was with them. Yeah. It's very weird.
That is weird timing.
It's very weird timing. I don't know why.
Especially because you relocated and you don't, when you do go home, you don't frequent like friends and stuff like that. I don't. So it's like weird.
Why?
Why them?
Why them? Why was I with them at this time? Why is their anniversary on his birthday? And so fast forward 3 years later, they just had, what's today? Today is the 7th of October. I called Sherelle on her anniversary just to explain, like, yo, we're connected for life. Not in a depressed, situation, but I chose not to tell her what actually was going on because she is the type of person that takes on everyone's emotion. She feels everything from everyone. I didn't want to ruin her anniversary. But as you all know, she's also pregnant. I didn't want her to sit and dwell on that and it affect the baby in any way. But I did have to talk about it in the episode because I disappeared.
You did. She was gone with the Win Fabulous while I was up there drinking Moscow.
Was it just Moscow? What got you so lit though, dog?
Movement, not eating.
Well, you didn't move.
You know when you drink and you sit in the same place and you get up and you realize how intoxicated you are. You're like, oh, this is different. But yeah, all in the name. Because if I wasn't, I'm not going to say if I wasn't. I'm not going to sound dependent on liquor. But I feel like it would have gone differently.
If what?
If I wasn't intoxicated.
That episode?
No, like different. Like I feel like I was stronger for you while being intoxicated. It sounds weird. It really sounds strange. But I would have been outside crying with your ass too.
You didn't cry?
I did cry, but I didn't.
She ain't cry. This nigga did not cry.
I did, but I had to be strong for you though. You know what I'm saying?
It's weird how everything happened.
Everything came full circle.
It did. So Duncan's... Oh, not to mention, before I got the call, remember I told you this. Before I got the call from... She shook her head, yes, y'all. Before I got the call from my brother's wife, Jay. Hey, Jay. I kept staring at Mo.
Yeah, she did say that. She was like, he reminds me.
I said it, and I was about to say it on the mic, but I didn't. I was like, yo, he looks like my brother. And I don't know why this happened. I don't know why it happened the way it did. I don't know. I just don't know. But I kept staring at him, from the gray hair, from his demeanor, from his mannerisms, from everything. I just was staring at this man. And
skin complexion, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Like he does, right?
Yeah, he does.
He looks like my brother, and I don't know if if it was just at that moment in time, well, we have to have another conversation because I have to stare at you to see if you actually are, like, if you have the same demeanor as my brother. Adrian, I wasn't staring at Mo like that, so I apologize because I was just staring at him, right? It was weird.
Yeah, she said as soon as we got off the air, she was like, I was staring at him because he looked just like him.
And that's all I could think about. A lot of, he looks just like my brother. Then I got 3 calls back to back, took the call, got the information, and didn't realize the significance of this episode until Yudo and I were, and Adrian, I'm sorry.
AD.
Sorry.
Lord, you're going to have these people Googling me.
Google me, baby.
Google me,
To AD, myself, and Yudo were listening back and putting together the episodes. I was like, damn, like, this is the chain of events. So this episode holds a very special and weird place in my heart. It's very, very new. Again, October 1st, anniversary and birthday. July 5th, I was with them when he passed. So, I don't know. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
The series, 3-part series.
Ooh, we got series. Ooh, Netflix sent us that.
Ooh, Netflix, call me.
We got Netflix and we got Hulu series.
I'm not paying for Hulu.
Oh. That's messed up. I love Hulu. Bob's Burgers.
Oh Lord, her and his Bob's Burgers.
I love me some Bob.
No, you know what has the new season? Big Mouth on Netflix. I love that cartoon. So inappropriate.
You know, Bob and Big Mouth reminds us of family members, but that's an episode for another time. That really is. We'll talk about that later.
That is funny.
Yeah. So anyway, listen, laugh, love.
Listen, laugh, love. Be happy. Be black. Be married.
Or be white.
I'm just playing.
No, you're not. Yo.
Okay. This is really serious, though.
It is.
We have a shot of our finest branded APAN liquor.
And we're not going to tell you what it is till they pay us.
till they send us moolah, baby. But this shot is for Freddie.
Hey, Fred.
Cheers to y'all too.
Wait, click the mic.
So yeah, you guys, wear your seatbelts.
Yeah.
Wear your seatbelts. Love
and
life.
That's a serious. He was killed in a car accident. Yeah, let's say that.
Oh yeah.
And the importance of wearing a seatbelt. It is so important. My brother would be here today had he worn a seatbelt. And yeah. I like, and I am now that person. I used to make fun of our aunt. What do we want to call her? You want to give her a shout out?
Shout out to you.
Yes, to our aunt, the very special Auntie Didi, because every time we got into a car, seatbelt, put the boys in the car seat, Now, look, in America, they have car seats. Everywhere else, that's questionable, okay? But I realized the importance
of the simple things that they give you to be safe.
Yeah, he would still be here today had he had on a seatbelt. So please click it, save your life.
Or ticket. Adrian is doing citizens arrest all 2019.
Oh, Lord. At least she's not blocking y'all no more.
Right. Well, I might change my number on y'all.
But yeah. And we'll have some resources that you guys can go and check out. Some groups that really hone in on the whole, wear your seatbelt thing. I want to say thank you to our favorite Cousins, Sherelle, Black, Mo, and Adrian. Thank you so
you guys
much.
so much. Like, this was fun. Like,
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And again, we still getting the hang of this thing. You know, audio's not always right. Intro, outro.
Thank you guys for all the feedback. Even though we would prefer that you guys leave the feedback on Anchor, just call us. Let us know what's up.
Yeah, just leave a voicemail.
Leave a voicemail. Let us know, like, hey, y'all messing up or y'all doing great.
Or, you know what? Hit me in my DMs.
Don't send me no DMs.
Who is it? What's the name? Curry?
Who?
What's his wife's name?
Aisha Curry?
She want to be hitting the DMs, so do I. Hit me in my DMs.
Hit me in my DMs.
Yeah.
But no, don't call me. Don't hit me in the DMs. I don't want to see that little camera flashing on Instagram on the side.
Hit me in my DMs. Say, yo, this episode sucked.
Yeah,
this
just let
episode
us
was
know.
great.
Thank you guys for the feedback. It has been amazing to just hear what people have to
This
say.
is episode 25.
Dang, that's a half a year.
Is it?
52 weeks in a year.
Damn, she know numbers.
Right, because I know paychecks. That's what.
Yo, this is an outro. This is not supposed to be this long.
Oh, sorry. We ain't mean it.
All right.
So listen back next week. We got some more heat for y'all coming.
Oh, heat. Thank y'all.
Bye.